Hello, everybody. I'm back. Yes, the wireless gremlins have followed me everywhere. So I am working remotely today, and that's why I, Dr. Yolanda Wade, am doing this week's Weekly Wink without Dr. Murphy. However, we still have some really good stuff to share today. Now, I called this the after party to be enticing, of course, but because I also want to talk to you specifically about artificial colors. Now, before you start booing and hissing, and I kind of think it's good that I'm here and not in the office because maybe I would have had some boos and hisses, please know that in spite of the fact that our home is filled with artificial colors right now, post-Halloween, I'm not a Halloween Grinch. I have dressed up every single year through high school, college, med school, residency, through my fellowship, even when I was pregnant, and I dress up every year for Halloween. I love the thrill of the chase. But I don't really engage in the actual eating of the candy, but I don't keep the kids away from it. In fact, I'll just show you as proof, because I know some of you think I'm a food Nazi, but my daughter is so thrilled that she hit jackpot this year on her candy. Of course, the key is being on your A game. So if 90% of the time you're eating well, then 10% of the time if you fall off the wagon, it's okay. And so I'll allow her to have a treat. But I want to talk to you right now about artificial colors and the reason why it's really important in your life. So it's estimated that over the last 50 years, our exposure to artificial colors has increased by 500%. 500% here in the US. And why is that important? Because most food-based artificial colors here in the US are actually derived from coal tar and have benzenes in them. And both of those are really, really nasty things. I can't imagine that you would go outside and pick up some coal tar and chew on it. And yet, if you're grabbing some of these artificially colored candies, you may be having the same basic effect in terms of adversely affecting your immune health and potentially increasing your risk for cancer. Now, lest you think I'm being a conspiracist who's spreading bad news and that food Nazi thing, please know that up until 1990, and this is so important, all of you listening, if you were a child before 1990, you have probably been exposed to red number 3. Red number 3 was used to color maraschino cherries. It was used to color the red icing that's used to write letters on cakes. Red number 3 was the red for red hot sausages before 1990. Red number 3 was used in fruit roll-ups, which were masked as good foods, right? Get some fruits into your kids. But red number 3 was in that. And red number 3 was in those little pills that the dentist used to give you to chew on after you brushed your teeth so you could see if you got all the plaque out. Red number 3 was pulled from the market because it was found to be cancer causing. And in fact, also found to be a really significant, potent destructor. I don't think that's a real word, but really had very destructive effects on thyroid health. And so that specific food coloring has been pulled from the market. But there are plenty of other food colorings, artificial colors that are still on the market now. And again, like I said, most of them are derived from coal tar, which we know is cancer causing. Yellow number 5. Here in the U.S., we still use yellow number 5, and our FDA has labeled that as generally safe for human consumption. But yellow number 5 is actually strictly prohibited in any human food products in the European Union. And that's because yellow number 5 has been associated with increased risk of attention deficit and hyperactivity in children, increased risk of migraine headaches, and increased risk of anxiety in adults, and also has been associated with some cancers. And that's yellow number 5, which we still have in foods here in the US. So I think fundamentally what I want is for you to be really mindful about what you're eating and read your labels and know what's in your foods. Know that 6 of the 7 food colors that the U.S. considers to be safe for humans to eat, the European Union has said, there are problems with these foods. They're associated with increased risk for, not the foods, sorry, with the artificial colors, but they are associated with an increased risk for immune dysfunction, increased risk for certain cancers, increased risk for nerve problems, for neurologic problems. 6 of the 7, and we have a total of 8 that we say are okay here in the U.S., but 6 of the 7 in the EU require specific labeling if they are on the package, kind of like our cigarette boxes here have labels on them. Like your candy would have a label on it if it had one of those colors in it. So please get empowered. Unless someone here is watching right now, so I think I've dispelled the thought that I'm a food Nazi. I mean, I let my kids go trick-or-treating. They're not going to eat all that candy, though. We'll give that away. I let them go trick-or-treating, but I certainly won't let them eat all of that candy because we are an A-game kind of family. 90% of the time, we are going to eat nice, clean, and healthy so that if 10% we fall off the wagon, we have good reserves. But unless someone's watching and saying, hey, how can those food companies make money if they're using artificial colors? Those are cheaper to use. Yeah, that's totally true. And yes, I am a conspiracy theorist, except backed up by the fact that the food scientists that are on staff at these mega food companies are actually specifically manipulating the taste of your food in terms of sugars and fats to keep you addicted. And they're manipulating the appearance of the foods, making them super bright and colorful to keep your kids addicted to that garbage. But let's just say it's not profitable to stick to natural colors. Let me give you some food for thought. The strawberry sauce that's on your sundaes at McDonald's here in the US is a yucky goop of corn syrup and artificial red dye. In the European Union, it is actually made from, wait for it, strawberries. The strawberry syrup is made from strawberries in the European Union, and it still sells in the stores. Okay, what about orange Fanta, orange sodas? So here in the US, a ton of artificial colors make that orange of the orange soda, but in the European Union, Fanta can only be colored with natural colors. And you know what they use for that? Pumpkin and carrots. It can be done. Okay, what about, since it's Halloween or post-Halloween, the after party for Halloween? Starburst or Skittles taste the rainbow. Guess what? Those things cannot be artificially colored in the European Union without a specific warning label on them. So it is possible to make it and to be profitable and to not have those fake colors. And if you choose to have the fake colors, just be mindful that they are risky and limit your exposure to those colors. Ultimately, we want you to be mindful because there is clear and compelling evidence, enough so that another modern country has said, this stuff is dangerous and we're going to put a warning label on it. All right, but again, I'm not a food Nazi. 90% of the time, make sure you're doing really, really well at eating. And if you need to have a treat at Halloween, just be aware of the tricks hiding behind it. So P.S., some of the places that you're also getting artificial colors. What about the shampoos that you're putting in your hair, or the soaps that you're washing your body with, or lotions that you're putting on, or, I don't know, toothpaste, the blue stripe or the red stripe or the green toothpaste. All of those are artificial colors. So if you're saying, no, I never eat candy and I never eat junk food, you know what? There are other places where you're being exposed to these potentially cancer-causing artificial colors. And sometimes, oh my goodness, even when you think you're making a really powerful health choice like buying vitamins, they can be artificially colored. So it kind of defeats the purpose if you're taking a vitamin or a supplement that has really fake neon green or fake neon red in it. So read your labels. As much as possible, limit your exposure to these potentially harmful chemicals. Now, I want to say, instead of eating the rainbow of the Skittles, how about you eat a rainbow of fruits and veggies every day? Go for your dark green leafies, eat your blueberries, have some mango, have some pomegranate. Those things are so much better for you, so much more life-affirming, so much more just yum. But if you have to have a trick sometimes, just make sure that you're being mindful about that trick. All right, artificial colors, that's my after party. I know I tricked you into this one, but yeah, I wanted to talk about that. And I also want to celebrate and just give one more teaser. Dr. Murphy and I are really super excited about launching our Know Your Numbers program. And our goal is really to reach super achievers, super creators, all of those influencers who are really banging it or well on the road to success in whatever it is they're doing, and yet they just kind of don't feel as good as they should feel. So maybe you've gone to your doctor and your doctor did lab work and said, oh no, everything is fine with you, but you know something is off because you just don't feel good. Maybe you think you deserve to feel awesome. At least I think you should feel awesome, but you're not quite there yet. And so our Know Your Numbers program is going to help you. We're going to walk through your labs with you line by line and teach you the difference between a laboratory normal range and the optimal range for all of the different things that we'll walk through on those labs. And we want to do this our first time around as a beta group to help to shape the group, to answer the questions that you want answered so that in the future this program grows super, super well. And so if you're already working with us one-on-one in the office, this is probably something that you've already had done with us, and you know how amazing it is to have the perspective of, I haven't been feeling great, but oh my goodness, I get it now. My thyroid really is off, even though they told me it was normal. Or my vitamin D level is way too low, even though they told me it was normal. What we want to do is to reach women who may not be able to come into the office with us, but are nonetheless motivated around awesome health. And so what I need for you to do, if you are that person and you're watching this right now, is to just put down in the comment, I'm in, and we will send you a link to join our private Facebook group for Know Your Numbers. We also need for you to share this video with other people. Share this with your friends, with your family, with your coworkers, with anyone you think might benefit from having a really detailed functional analysis of their basic lab work to help to identify things that are just off a little bit but are having a huge impact on your health. Ultimately, we believe that you're all super women and that you all have superpowers, and we want to help you to find those things by knowing your numbers. So make sure that you share this video, make sure that you like this video, make sure that you tell somebody who you care about who needs to be empowered around their health about this video. Like, share. I'm trying to remember all the things. You guys know I'm new to Facebook. Put a comment in the bottom. I want to be in. Don't put all that. Just say I'm in with an exclamation point, and then we will send you an invitation to our private Know Your Numbers group, and you will be kept up to date on the Know Your Numbers program. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging in there. I know I had some tech issues. Bye. Fun party. Bye-bye, guys.